Welcome to session 2 of CSIT 306 IT Resource Planning. Today we will look at IT resource planning systems. Our aim is to recognize factors associated with the evolution of IT resource planning systems, under which we'll look at business process, we'll look at client-server networking, integrated databases. Then, secondly, we would want to examine the role of process modeling in redesigning business models. Now, what's re-engineering? Fundamentally, it is the rethinking and radical redesign of business processes. Now, the goal is to achieve major improvements in performance. Now, an efficient redesign of value chain happens in two forms. You have the one that is with regards to primary activities, and the other is with regards to secondary activities. Now, with primary activities, we're looking at inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, marketing and sales, then services. Now, with the secondary activities, we're looking at organizational activities, human resources, then technology, then we look lastly at purchasing. Under re-engineering, we will look at motivations, that is deregulation, consolidation, customer sophistication, and increased competition. So this table here shows us the driving forces. Then we look at external responses and internal changes. So let's look at business process re-engineering, BPR. Under BPR, technology is used to mechanize work. Now we create new business rules, we remove outdated rules, and improve responsiveness, which helps to reduce costs. The table beneath shows the elements and the activities with regards to each element. Now, under business process re-engineering, we look at centralized decision making. Become more responsive to customer needs because the processes are no longer centralized. It is now being decentralized. So at every process, the customer's needs have become more responsive from the perspective of the service provider or the organization. Then it helps to flatten the organization. Now, business process re-engineering is facilitated by information technology, IT, and it also helps to redesign jobs. So we have new levels of judgments. There are new types of leaders whom are usually adaptable. Now, there are quite a number of case studies that have undergone re-engineering. This table shows these companies before re-engineering, after re-engineering, and the business impact that they had. So you see examples with regards to Ford, with IBM credit authorization, Xerox, Walmart inventory, HP purchasing processing, amongst others. Now let's take a look at the process modeling itself. Now, under process modeling, we come across business processes, which are the business activities. We also take a look at the data store. The data store are the data that are needed by the business processes. Now there's data flow, which refers to the data transferred between processes or from a process to a data store. Then under that, we look at organizational units, which are the units where the processes take place. Then we'll see something called events, which includes triggers and outcomes. What triggers an event and the outcome of that trigger. So this is an example of a neighborhood food cooperative, the organization which has a weekly cycle and members submit lists. These lists are merged, orders are placed for products by phone, and suppliers confirm writing with invoice. Then the shipments are made. Then the members collect their products, and these are supposed to be paid in the net by 10 days. So this is just an example of a working organization which is known as the neighborhood food cooperative. Now, the basis for best practices supported by the IT resource planning models. These are the bases. Re-engineered process models. There is data integration and structural changes are made. when process models are re-engineered, it helps to improve the process changes. Then when data integration is implemented among the multi-processes, it allows for reduction of redundant data. So we'll have another example. Now there's this company known as the Reliable Finance Company, and this is what they seek to do. They seek to have an expansion of their existing system. They need enhanced information system. They want to increase the number of branches potentially. They are seeking to achieve a competitive advantage, and they're hoping to analyze their loan applications, reduce it from the usual 10 to 13 days to between 2 to 3 days. And they are hoping to be able to improve access to databases for approval decisions, which currently this company does not offer or do. Now, these are some of the failures that exist, according to research by Rosenthal. Now, failing to re-engineer helps you to, it makes it difficult to measure performance. There's continuous training of new roles each time. This is what we call applying the clean slate approach. Then you use rewards as incentives to change. Now, Rosenthal said that this helps to move away from the status quo, and it is too narrowly focused. If you don't re-engineer, you are always too narrowly focused, and your projects are too general, and it makes you move away from the status quo. By that, then you are applying the clean slate approach, where you always have to measure performance, you always have to use rewards as incentives to change, and so on and so forth. Now let's look at the information technology, the IT facilities within the IT resource planning systems. We have the client-server computing, which allows for increased power and control. Here we look at integrated databases. This helps to reduce redundancies, so it increases data consistencies. Supports multiple functional units. Then under this, we look at data being maintained separately from application models. Then we have database management systems being implemented, where we have central data administration, we have an improved data integrity, and also improved control. So we'll look at some process enterprises. Under process enterprises, we have changed management structures. So process responsibility is given to process owners. Then it stresses teamwork. It's no longer suboptimal functionaries of the processes within the organization, but instead it focuses on every unit or process coming together as a team. Then it leans towards standardization of processes. It helps to bring a standard among the processes, and it focuses on achieving goals. So this is a case in point, re-engineering of the payment process by the company whose example we looked at. So in re-engineering their payment process, we look at their currents, then we're going to look at how happens. So the current payment process system is like this. The customers make payment to a branch. It could be by cash, check, or money. They mail payments to the branch, manually processed. Then it is batched for deposits in the afternoon to a home office, which is now mailed in advance of payments received. Then payments are made to home office. After the customer has made the payments to the branch, it goes through these processes before it will be reviewed, and later authority that's supposed to approve or disapprove whatever loan that they're asking for goes through. Now each night the batch payment processing runs to update accounts. This is how the current payment system looks like. Then there's weekly delinquency analysis run, payment reminders sent out between this number of days, which is usually computer generated. Then there's settlement figures processed upon request. So we've been looking at the business processes in this session. We've said that the BPR allows the organization to rethink. Here we looked at re-engineering to help organizations to rethink and radically redesign their business processes. We also looked at process modeling of business activities, changing organizational management structures. Then we've looked at the inclusion or the facilitation of the IT resource planning systems by the use of information technology. Then we also said that processes are standardized and teamwork enhanced. Thank you.